It's frustrating when you spend hours, weeks, and months perfecting your course and the messaging around your course, only to hear crickets when you put it out into the world. All too often, we create messaging and course content based on a few conversations with our ideal client, just a handful of conversations. And we get those first few sales and we get excited. And then everything comes to a grinding halt. There are no more sales, or they slow down so far that we can't even call it a trickle of sales. It leaves us feeling unsure about the next steps, or even if our course is still valid and a viable part of our business. How are we supposed to figure out what to do when we can't get any attention from our posts, from our webinars, or from our course content? Today, I'm going to share with you 5 reasons that this is happening, and they all center around the word purpose. Having been in this exact position in the past and helped other course creators through this phase, I can share with you what makes a difference, and it isn't what you expect. In fact, the 4th and the 5th reasons today are really meta, but I trust that these reasons will be the missing component that brings together your messaging and creates a shift in that messaging for both your sales process and in the course itself, so that you can bring in happy students, engaged students who stay until the very end of the course and then say, "What else do you have that I can buy?" Now, the 3rd reason that I'm going to share can be a little bit tricky to uncover. So at the end of today's episode, I'm going to walk you through the exact steps that I use to simplify the process and get to the root of the reason faster.
Anyone can add a digital course to their business. So what sets the 6-figure course creators apart? You're about to find out. Welcome to the Digital Course Creator Podcast with Dr. Moira, a longtime entrepreneur now using her PhD in psychology to help you go from sticky notes to sales worth celebrating.
Have you ever heard someone say that it's really hard to see the outside of the bottle when you're inside it? They're talking about the fact that when we are inside something or super close to something, it can be really difficult to see the outside perspective. Our sales messaging and the messaging inside our course can be the same way. All too often, what happens is that we create our messaging that gets woven into the sales pages, the websites, the emails, the social posts that we create. But it's all from this inside perspective. When we ask people around us, they're either already on team you or they don't know enough about what we're doing to be able to provide critical and tough love feedback. So essentially, we stay stuck inside the bottle. And the only way to get outside the bottle, so to speak, is to get to the root of our purpose. But it isn't enough to just say, well, my purpose is that I want people to learn, grow, do better, succeed. We need to examine purpose from 5 different perspectives. These are our 5 reasons that right now courses tend to fail or messaging fails to get attention. It's these 5 different perspectives that get our perspective into focus so that we can create the assets for our digital course business so that it will be successful. The first purpose that we talk about today is going to ease us into the conversation, and then we'll dig in deep. I want you to be prepared. And I can't wait to hear which purpose you're going to lean into first and which one makes you kind of scratch your head. Because number 3 is a little tricky. I'm going to share my exact process at the end of this episode to save you time and boost your clarity. What do you say? Let's jump in with purpose 1. One reason that our course and messaging fails or falls flat with potential students, and even with our dedicated students, is because too often we bury the purpose of the course behind a result. We have these great formulas for sharing the purpose of the course, but they don't go beyond that surface result. A lot of times we hear people say, I help XYZ do XYZ so that they can XYZ. I help entrepreneurs build a course so that they can have a successful business. This is a great first step to getting clear on the course purpose, but to create magnetic messaging that draws people in, we have to take it a step further. We have to get to what happens because of that course, because of that result. It isn't that our students can now whiz through an Excel spreadsheet or cook a roasted chicken to perfection or read a passage and know how to take accurate notes that help them to pass a test. It isn't these things. It is the fact that now that someone can whiz through an Excel spreadsheet, they're eligible for a promotion at work that unlocks new opportunities in terms of vacation days, salary, and future career development. It might be that roasted chicken done to perfection that your student now has as a go-to meal means that the next time the meal train gets sent out because a friend is expecting a baby, they've experienced a loss in their family, they're sick, they can now sign up for a meal confidently instead of just saying, well, I hope everyone else fills those slots. Those perfect notes that might shift an appreciation for a specific course. Those perfect notes that helped that student pass the test now has opened up the student's eyes to a possible career that they would have never considered previously if they were struggling through the content. The course purpose goes far beyond the Excel spreadsheet, the amazing roasted chicken, and the study skills. It shifts the student's life. That is the purpose of your course. And when we weave this level of detail and story into our messaging, both our marketing and inside our course, those stories become real. The message becomes real, and they start to see what we have to offer as life-changing. Unlocking the purpose that our course brings to the world is important. And we already started to talk about what that looks like. Understanding the purpose of our students in pursuing our digital courses is also key to creating messaging and creating examples and stories within our course that will resonate with them. So often we create a course from our place of expertise, our experiences, and our need for a solution. That doesn't mean that ours is the only reason or the only purpose behind why someone would seek our course. So we need to make sure that we are getting to the purpose that our students are bringing to the course. At first glance, you might be thinking, but we can't touch on everyone's specific purpose for choosing a digital course solution. And you know what? You're right. But we can create inclusive examples that allow our students to see themselves being represented and their ultimate goal being achieved. If we have a course on teaching Excel calculations and manipulations, we can look at the big picture of why our students are pursuing the course on Excel. For some, it might be to pass a class that requires them to use Excel proficiently. We've all been there. For others, it might be to earn a job promotion or a raise. And for others, it might be just a fun activity to broaden their horizons. Yes, I'm one of those people. What do these students all have in common? They have a singular purpose to master their use of Excel. It unlocks a door for them of some kind. Even though it's varied, they ultimately allow that success with Excel allows for satisfaction and accomplishment in their life. When we can understand the motivating factor behind why they say they signed up for the course or why they're searching for this solution, that's where we get to create messaging that is magnetic and captivating. It draws them in. When we understand the course's purpose and our students' purpose in seeking and ultimately taking our digital courses, we might feel like, hey, we're done, and can move on to create magnetic messaging and selling our courses on autopilot. As digital course creators, though, we have to take time as the creator to examine our own purpose in creating the courses that we create. What is our purpose as a digital course creator? This process can leave us feeling pretty vulnerable. And I once heard it said that we often give up on this quest far too soon because it's really easy to list the result that our course brings to our students as our personal purpose. Let me give you an example from my own business to kick off this conversation. I could say that my purpose is to help digital course creators go from idea to implementation with their course and messaging. Launching their course then is my purpose, right? It's helping them go from, I think I want to create a course on this, to, whoo, I just launched my course on this. That is actually the result of working with me, but it's not my purpose. When we all have access to more learning opportunities outside the traditional school settings, there are increased chances to learn new things, experience new things, experiment, and shift our perspectives. This leads to the change of and opens up the doors for tolerance and unity. By creating digital courses, we begin to remove the barriers to learning so that this can happen. That's my purpose. It isn't to help my clients launch their digital course. That's the result of working with me. My purpose behind doing this is to ensure that more people have learning opportunities outside the traditional classroom space. Learning brings about change. Make sense? When we get clear on our purpose, then the messaging that we build gives our students something to rally behind. They say, yes, you're right. We do need more learning opportunities. We do need to be able to learn and grow whether or not we have access to a school setting. It gives us an opportunity to create something magnetic so that when you offer a new course, a new membership, a new lead magnet, a new anything, they are jumping up and saying yes because they believe in what we're doing. They believe in our purpose. Now, if that feels tough to figure out, today's 60-second solution at the end of the episode is going to walk you through the process that I use when I revisit my purpose and refine it as I learn, as I grow, and as I shift in my own entrepreneurial journey. So I'll share that with you at the end of today's episode. Now, we've talked about some reasonably concrete concepts of purpose so far. We talked about identifying the course purpose. We talked about understanding and getting in tune with our students' purpose. And we talked about our purpose as a digital course creator. What is your purpose as a master in your content area? In other words, what is the purpose behind the fact that you are a master in your zone of genius? What purpose does that serve? What is your purpose in pursuing that? Now, this is a bit on the metacognition side of things. We have to think about our thinking. What led us to this? So let's break it down just a bit. We are each a master of something or a few somethings. What was the purpose that led us to build that mastery? This might be something that's different from our purpose as a digital course creator, but they are likely complementary. Maybe you became a master of the family dinner in 30 minutes or less. You uncovered how to roast a chicken to perfection in under 30 minutes. You can easily whip up 3 to 4 dishes without breaking a sweat on any night of the week with just the ingredients in your well-stocked pantry and freezer. And you are constantly rotating meals so that your family isn't stuck with the same 5 meals on a never-ending loop. As a master of the family dinner in under 30 minutes, what is your purpose behind that? What are the underlayers that drove you to that mastery? It's easy to say that we were tired of family members complaining about being hungry, having to wait, or having the same meatloaf every single Wednesday, or having to stop by the store 4 times throughout the week. But that isn't the purpose for our mastery. The purpose might have been peace and calm. It might have been the nourishment physically and emotionally of our family. It might have been a more personal reason to fall in love with cooking and banish that resentment of cooking 7 nights a week. We can't ignore these beginnings that led us to mastery. Why? Because chances are our students are experiencing the same things, or at least some of the same things. They will be able to see themselves in us, in our stories, in our purpose to build mastery. It provides motivation, it builds trust that it's possible for them too. What was and is the purpose behind your mastery of your content? What is it? It might have changed as you got further in your mastery process, but what is the purpose that led you to the mastery of your content, the mastery of your zone of genius? We come to the most meta of the 5 purposes that keep our messaging and course from failing, and that is, what is our purpose within the entrepreneurial community? There is a saying that a rising tide lifts all ships. I firmly believe this, but we each have a unique purpose as part of the community to help lift the ships, right? Just like each family member has a specific role in the family unit. For example, dad's purpose might be to take the primary care of the children. Mom's primary purpose might be to focus on career. This could shift over time. They might flip-flop. The dog's primary purpose might be to bring about laughter and joy with their goofy antics. The family fish might serve the purpose of teaching responsibility to the kids as they learn to feed the fish and clean the tank regularly. The kids' purpose might be to learn, grow, and play. The point is that while this family exists to lift each other up, their purpose will be specialized and unique to them. Think about the entrepreneur who builds courses on study skills or study habits. Their purpose as an entrepreneur within the community might be to help other entrepreneurs recognize and remedy gaps in their time management. They see these posts, it pops out to them that a shift or two could help, so they can easily offer a suggestion or two. And indeed, it shifts the momentum for that entrepreneur as they adjust their time management. An entrepreneur who is a master of the 30-minute family meal and can see other entrepreneurs in the community struggling during their launch of a course to still get dinners planned and on the table, well, they can now say, hey, here are a few simple and fast meals that you might try. A master Excel digital course creator might reach out to the cooking whiz and share ideas for how to create an Excel file of different menu combinations so that they can be sorted by prep time and combined to build meals that take less than 30 minutes to create. As entrepreneurs, we are part of a bigger community that is working to elevate the world, to shift perspectives, bring about growth, and celebrate learning. We do that better together. And when we know our purpose within the entrepreneurial community, our messaging becomes stronger. We become more confident, and that bleeds over into our course messaging and content. There is a song by Drew Holcomb and the Neighbors called Find Your People. If you haven't heard it, I want you to find it on whatever you listen to music on this week and listen to the words really carefully. It's about finding connections. It's about finding your people. One part of the lyrics say, in a world of strangers, you don't know who to trust. All you see is danger, trying to find what you lost. You can't go in alone. Everybody needs help. You got to find your people, then you'll find yourself. If our students are looking for their people, the ones that they can trust to help them learn and grow, we need to show them our purpose at all levels. When we're able to be transparent and, yes, a little vulnerable, they begin to learn that they can trust us. Our messaging and course content becomes magnetic. They see that we are here to support them in a genuine way. We're not there to hurt them. This week, take action by getting clear on the purpose of your course, your purpose as a digital course creator. And don't stop at the surface level. Ask why more times than you feel comfortable with. And if that really does get uncomfortable to you, or you aren't quite sure what that looks like, at the end of this episode, I'm going to share my process for how to do this in the 60-second solution. So be sure to listen so that you can take action. Today, we've been talking about the importance of purpose in our course content and our course messaging. Without purpose underpinning everything, we run the risk of having our messaging and our course fail. Here on the Digital Course Creator Podcast, I'm openly sharing the lessons that I've learned, the tools and the tactics that I've used and I use so that you can become a six-figure digital course creator. But here's what I've realized. All too often, the solutions designed to help you get to six figures focus solely on marketing. Success in business and in any area of life requires strategy in a number of areas, and you can get that from a lot of different resources. We're so lucky. We have books, we have podcasts, webinars, courses. So why do we still struggle consistently to reach our enrollment and financial goals? Because whatever change we want in our lives is going to be 10% of what we learn, read, or study, and 90% or more mindset. As a psychology professor and coach, I share as much as I can about mindset here on the show. But in order to really thrive, we all need individualized attention, accountability, and support. So if you are ready to say yes to thriving, yes to a financially solid business, I'd love to have a conversation with you. I have at least 2 slots open on my calendar each week to help course creators take action, to dig into their purpose, and to create a strategic plan for growth so that they can get unstuck. And these are free, no obligation calls. If you are ready to make the next 12 months the year that you go from being uncertain about your course creation business to a six-figure course creator, grab a strategy call slot at coursecalls.com. You can also find the link in the show notes, but again, it's coursecalls.com. Without a clear purpose behind why we are a digital course creator, our messaging is likely to lead to a course. Without a clear purpose behind why we are a digital course creator, our messaging is likely to lead to a failed course launch or worse, students who drop out after barely getting started. Uncovering and understanding our purpose as a digital course creator is a bit like peeling an onion layer by layer. We have to go layer by layer to find the true answers, the root of our purpose. But how do you do that? How do you go from surface level to deeper level? By answering the question, what is my purpose as a digital course creator? Then we ask why of our answer. Then we ask why again. Do this 5 to 7 times. Ask yourself 5 to 7 whys. Dean Graziosi recommends 7 layers of this, or levels of this. But what I've found is that the number varies based on how deeply you go and how quickly. You might find that 4 whys get you to the root of your purpose as a course creator. Other times you might find that you need 9 whys to get there. This is something that I honestly do once a quarter. It doesn't necessarily change once a quarter, but it gets further refined, and sometimes, depending on what's happened in business, it shifts in a big way. When our purpose as a digital course creator is clear, we get to create magnetic messaging that connects with our students and builds course content that keeps them engaged, keeps them motivated from lesson 1 all the way to course graduation. Want more quick solutions for building a successful digital course and creating messaging that is magnetic? Make sure to hit follow now.